Alright, what's going on, Fishaholics, and welcome back to another video. And today is our second day down here in Georgia, and it's a little after 10 a.m. And for the last hour or so this morning, we just gave ourselves the grand tour here at Foxhole Resort. And yesterday, if you watched our first video, we fished Lunker Lake, and that was our first lake ever we fished in Georgia, first time ever fishing Georgia, and go figure, in Lunker Lake we caught a lunker. So make sure you try and check that video out before you watch this video. But basically right now we're sitting in the middle of an 1,100 acre section of property, and I don't know, we just drove around by at least 15 plus different bodies of water. 5 of the bodies of water are sizable lakes, and the rest of the small bodies of water are probably, an acre to 2 acre little ponds. And for our goal today, we're going to try and fish as many of these bodies of waters and see how it goes. We'll just kind of start here at Legacy Lake and just keep bouncing around and see which lake gives up the biggest bass, or at least has the best fishing. So let's get after it. Alright, so since I would consider 5 of the bodies of water here at Foxhole to be considered lakes, like Legacy Lake right here, we're gonna fish all the lakes for an hour, and then we'll move to the next body of water. Any small pond we'll fish for about 30 minutes, and then I think that'll give us a good amount of time to fish from about 10 a.m. right now till a little after 6 p.m., basically dark, so that we could at least cover as many different bodies of water as possible and see which body of water gives up the best and the biggest fish. So we're starting off with just a little jerkbait this morning. Fish this for 10 minutes or so, see if we get any bites. Nothing yet. That bank over there looks pretty good. If we don't get bit soon on this jerkbait, then we'll probably make a quick little lure change to either a Kitech or a finesse shad, maybe a Binsky. Nothing. All right, so we're at spot number 2, pond 1. Legacy Lake was kind of a bust. We tried the jerkbait, a Binsky, a Lunker City finesse shad, and we finished it off kind of searching around with the spinnerbait, and not even a tap. But that's one of the biggest lakes on the property, and seemed pretty deep. And since yesterday, all the fish we caught were kind of main lake oriented. We only probably covered 5% of that lake, so that's probably why we didn't catch anything. So I guess that'll give us something to do one of the next days that we're down here, and maybe we could try and tap into that and figure that lake out. But for now, let's see if we can pull anything out of this little pond here. There's a fish. Boom! On the spinnerbait. First fish of the day. At least it's good to see there's some life in here. All right, so we're gonna give it another 10 minutes here. We switched over to this Lucky Craft chartreuse jerkbait. I think it might work a little bit better or be more appealing to a bigger fish. Ooh, this looks good right here. All these trees to the right are flooded by this water. This should be a magnet for a big bass. There's another fish. All right, on the jerkbait. All right, so 2 fish out of here, and that's just about time. So let's jump back in the cart, go for a ride, hit up another spot. All right, here's spot number 3, pond number 2. I think the next spot we'll hit will be a lake. I think that's where the bigger fish are gonna be, but you never know sometimes. There can be some big fish in some small ponds, but looks kind of good. It's got a little mysteriousness to it because it's got some murky water. Before, when we drove by, I did see, you know, some fish popping on top, so I know that there's fish in here. Oh my gosh. Holy crap. No, we got off. That was a freaking giant. Maybe not a 7-pounder, but that was like a 5-pounder that crushed the jerk bait. Second cast. You kidding me? Second cast. Fish on. Yeah, not a bad one right there. Whew. And he just snapped the line too. I'm only using 8-pound test, and you know, it's kind of a far drop. Like, you can't really get down to the water's edge to get them. You gotta swing them up. But not a bad fish. Probably about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. See you later. All right, so since that fish broke that leader, yeah, I guess we could consider that we're probably using too light a line. And since the water is kind of like a chocolatey color, like it's not really good visibility, I guess we'll put on 12-pound leader. Hopefully that's enough. All right, let's get them. Both those last 2 fish were real close to the bank. You know, that sun is shining like perfect right down this end of the pond. And that's why they're probably sitting here sunning themselves. There's another one. Boom. They're sitting right along this edge. Oh, got off. All right, well, at least we know that they're stacked right here. There's another fish. Another decent one. I love it when they're that beautiful light color because of the stained water. See ya. So this pond is kind of cool. It's like a giant horseshoe, and we started on the other end. Now we came to the far end of the horseshoe. All right, that's it for spot number 3, pond 2. And look at this, we got another pond right here across the bank, and we're gonna fish this for another 30 minutes. We might have to hit that horseshoe pond again on the way back to the cart though. That was a good spot. This is an interesting pond. Even though it's within close proximity to the other one, it's a different color. It's like a copper color. The other one was like a dirty, murky color. It's really shallow here. I'm gonna just take a walk around the entire perimeter, see if we can find where the deeper water is. Oh, shoot. Well, there's a gopher hole right there. Jeez. There's a fish. Since we started fishing the ponds, we started doing pretty well. There's another one, same spot, man. That's a bigger one. Nah, it's about the same size. Just pulled a little harder. But it's pretty sweet. We're catching fish really well out of the ponds. You know, this morning was really cold, so I bet you the water's warming up quicker in these ponds, and that's why it's triggering these fish to feed. All right, so that last pond wasn't bad. It's just about 2 o'clock, and we're gonna get something to eat. I'm starving. All we've had today is a banana and an energy drink, and it's getting hot. It's like almost 60 degrees, so we gotta take off some of these layers. And I think we're gonna take a few more casts here in this horseshoe pond because that's so far where we've hooked into the biggest fish of the day, that 4 or 5 pounder. I'm so hungry. I like survive off of these things when I'm fishing. There's a fish. Big fish. No, 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 no. Get out of there, get out of there. Whew, nice. Bigger. I'm liking this horseshoe pond. Look at the beautiful colors these fish have too. They're so pale because it's just such a murky, colored up pond. And it's still blowing my mind too that like there's so many other ponds that surround this one. They're close by like 20, 30 yards, but they're cleaner, they're clearer. So I guess that just has to do with like the type of bottom you have in the pond. You know, this pond looks like it's very clayish. Oh gosh, just got smashed, man. Big fish. Big fish. Now I gotta figure out how to get this guy up. Freaking tanker. Oh my gosh. In the horseshoe lake. While we're eating the granola. Oh man. I gotta go in. I'm going in. Whoa! Look at that one. Freaking tanker, man. I'm curious if this is a completely different fish or it's just the same one that I lost before. All right, just gonna get him on the scale real quick and get him back. All right, 5'6". Not bad. Look at that. All right, so such a sick catch, and I'm pretty much content to go hit another body of water and leave the horseshoe pond behind. You know, we hit it hard, caught a lot of good quality fish, and then we just caught that 5'6". And I don't know what it is, but being a northern angler, I'm not really exposed to a lot of dirty, murky, watered ponds or lakes. So when I finally come south and I fish a scenario like that, you know, it's just, I love it. It's great. You know, and for whatever reason, I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems like bass that live in dirtier water hit harder. I don't know, but like that 5'6" and all the other quality fish we caught out of the horseshoe pond, they freaking thumped that jerkbait and just slammed it. And, you know, there's actually another horseshoe pond inside of this horseshoe pond, but I didn't even want to try and fish it because it's like surrounded by all that high, long grass and everything, so we can't really get to it. And the other pond on the far side of the horseshoe pond we fished is like way over there. And that, you know, was a decent looking pond, but, you know, we just caught quantity. We didn't really catch quality. So we got one lunker today. This is definitely the best pond we fished so far today. So we're going to, you know, go for a ride, and I think about like a half mile down the trail, hook a right, and there's another lake there, bigger body of water, and we're going to give it a shot and just keep this party going, see if we can catch another lunker. What's up, buddy? Had to stop and say hi to the horsey real quick. What's up? How you doing? Wish I had some food on me. All I have is granola bars, bud. Probably shouldn't feed a horse a granola bar. I mean, probably isn't bad for him, but they probably want an apple or a carrot. Oh, he doesn't even like me. Probably smell too bad. It smell like fish. All right, so this is one of the bigger ponds or small lakes that we haven't fished yet. And it's kind of similar looking to Legacy Lake where we got skunked. It's got really clean water. Looks like it drops off and gets pretty deep. Let's probably finish our drink, have another granola bar, and we'll start fishing. We'll probably just focus on this warmer side of the lake. All right, so we're gonna start off in here with the Kitech. launch it out. You know, it's strange. Legacy Lake and this lake, which are the bigger bodies of water we fished today, remind me more of the waters that I'm used to fishing back home than, you know, for instance, like the Horseshoe Pond. And I did better in the Horseshoe Pond. These bigger, deeper, cleaner lakes, I haven't even seen fish like cruising along the shoreline. And you'd think like along a sun-baked bank or anything like this, you would see some forage. In the ponds, you know, anywhere the sun was, I would at least see some little bait fish. There's a fish. Boom. Finally. A little one, but hey, at least we know there's some fish in the cleaner, deeper lakes. Fish? That's a fish. Crushed it on the drop. Dang. You know, I bet you on Legacy, they're probably concentrated just like on this bigger lake. Legacy Lake was about, you know, 4 times the size of this one. All right, so this last pond is looking juicy, and you can see here the water clarity is about the same murkiness as the Horseshoe Pond. So you never know, there might be another lunker in here. I'm liking this lake, it's looking good, or this small pond, I'm liking it. So I'll start working around the perimeter. Let's get them. There's a fish. Boom. Dang, they fight so hard in this dirty water. Oh my gosh, it's not even a bass, it's a freaking trout. A rainbow trout. Georgia trout, what you doing, buddy? How'd you get in here? I wasn't expecting that at all. We started way over there, kind of walked around the entire perimeter until we got here and got our first bite. This pond is really shallow, but I guess there's trout in here. They must stock trout in here in the winter or something. A 10-pound bass would try and eat that thing. Or maybe if they have some smaller trout in here, that might be like the main forage that any big bass in this pond hit and eat. But pretty cool. Another fish right there. Is that another trout? Now that's a bass. That's a fatty. Holy moly. Look at that fatty right there. Thing is ballooned out. This is what our 7-pounder looked like yesterday, but about that much longer. All right, guys, I think that's about it. And we actually just fished the 7th body of water for today. You guys saw us fish 6, but the GoPro just died when we took a few casts there. We did see some bass in there, but nothing too crazy. It was really, really shallow. But I got to admit, I'm exhausted. I'm tired. And we probably got about an hour really left of daylight, but we gave it our all today. And too bad we couldn't catch anything out of Legacy Lake, which that was the biggest body of water we fished today. And there's a couple other lakes on Foxhole that are a little bit bigger than Legacy Lake, but we didn't fish them. We checked them out. We drove by them in the morning, and there was actually someone else there, so I didn't want to like crowd them or anything. Like, you know, there's so many other ponds and lakes here to fish. The last thing you want to do is crowd someone. And you know what? I think we're going to try and fish the Chattahoochee tomorrow, which, like I said, is right over there. And we got to probably buy a license for like a day or so, or 48-hour license or something. I don't know if we need a trout stamp or not. I might have to get the trout stamp depending on the location on the Chattahoochee, because I know that they stock it with trout, and it is considered, I believe, a trophy trout fishery, the Chattahoochee, but we really just want to go out there and try and catch stripers, but of course we'll be game for anything. And today's Wednesday, so tomorrow, Thursday, if we could hit the Chattahoochee, that'd be cool. And if we can get a vehicle, maybe we'll travel north a little bit or south on the Chattahoochee so we can kind of explore around a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to check out the FishAholic merch. I'll put the link down in the description. I'll also put all my tackle and equipment down in the description as well. And like always, never forget, live to fish, fish to live, and I'll see you guys in the next one.